All right, let's look at a few more examples. Here we have two similar rectangles. We need to solve for the missing side. Now we know that the ratio of the corresponding sides are proportional. So let's start with the smaller rectangle and pick one of the sides. Let's say 3.5. That matches up with the side in the big rectangle of length 16. We know that should equal the ratio of the other two sides, 5 to x. Now it doesn't matter which ones we started with. We could have started with 5 over x equals 3.5 over 16. Or we could have started with the big triangle and moved to the smaller one. As long as we're matching up the correct corresponding sides. Now to solve this, we're just going to cross multiply. And then solve the equation. So in this case, we'll just round to the nearest tenth, and we get x is equal to 22.9. There's no units on this problem, so we'll just leave it like that. In the second example, we're told that these figures are similar, and notice how they match up. J matches up with P. So the second figure is flipped over, but they still match up. You just have to make sure you match up the right sides. So the JK side, which is 10, should match up with PQ, which is Z. So let's write our proportion. And once again, now we just cross multiply. And now solve the equation. Let's look at one last example. So with these two polygons similar, first of all, let's take care of the angle. Those two angles match, so we know Z is 60. Now let's look at the sides. The smaller side on the left trapezoid is 15. And that matches up with the 12 with the trapezoid on the right. And that should equal 21 over y plus 5. Notice that I'm starting with the same figure each time I write my fraction. So I started with the figure on the left. So 15 was in the numerator of the first fraction. 21 is in the numerator of the second fraction. You cannot switch back and forth. So you could not say 15 over 12 and now start with the other figure and do y plus 5 over 21. So make sure that you stay consistent with which figure you're starting with. Now all we have to do is solve this. So let's cross multiply. This one's a little trickier because you're going to have to distribute the 15 with the y plus 5. Subtract 75 from both sides. And then divide by 15. This is the exact answer. I didn't have to do any rounding, so I keep an equal sign, not an approximately equal sign. Now work on the next worksheet.